So people look to leave their current job for many reasons. Progression, I think sometimes people join businesses and they maybe promised things and then it doesn't kind of come to a light really, and they kind of become stagnant and they want something that's new, fresh, and that can offer those progression opportunities.
Some of the objectives that they initially came into the role with aren't being met. The environment's changed, maybe their manager's changed, maybe they can't get the flexibility that they initially, maybe they've moved to a different location and it's becoming a bit more difficult to commute to, or they're not getting the progression and the exposure that they needed to push on in their career.
People always do think it is about the salary, but there's a lot of other things to factor in. So obviously commuting, people think that something is 10 miles away, but actually in matter of fact it's 10 miles away, but it's an hour in the car because you just bumper to bumper the whole way. So a lot of the candidates are looking for development of their CV.
Flexibility is really important to many people now, because finding that balance between personal life and the professional life, so that one can live their lives and not be completely trapped in the office 12 to 14, 15 hours a day. It's not healthy for anybody. As well as being able to fit in their personal life around the working life, whether it's picking and dropping the kids off in the morning, or leaving a little bit earlier so they can pick them up from after school club or directly from school. And we're seeing that as quite common. Employers, I've got quite a few roles on at the moment where all the employers I'm working with provide that flexibility, and it just makes it so much easier to attract a candidate to a role.
And I think the working environment is quite a big thing, and another thing that kind of people kind of look for. They want to work in a friendly team, they want to work with people who are like-minded, that they can collaborate with, and sort of progression opportunities. I think candidates want to know that if they are doing well, that there are rewards and there's kind of further steps for them to be able to take sort of further down the line, especially for obviously the junior candidates.
I think the advice I would give to anybody that's unhappy within their current role and looking to step onto the market is, A, have they had that conversation, or do they have a relationship where they can have the conversation with their current manager and be honest and be frank and say, look, I like the business, I've been here for a while, but I feel the role is not giving me what I need right now. And if you can have an open discussion with your manager to get to a point where the role is giving you what you need and want, you save yourself a headache of jumping ship and getting into a new role. But then also, if they decide, and between you two, you decide that you can't get added responsibilities or an improvement made to your current role, then it gives you clarity that you're not going to be able to get it where you are at the moment, and then you will need to go and step onto the market.
If you're fearful of a new environment, you will never know until you put yourself in that situation. So I just think get a lot of information around you so you feel comfortable with your decision. Make sure that you feel really strong-minded, that you're moving for the right reasons. And if all of those are positive, that you feel you still really want to leave the business, then I would just have good people around you and just trust the fact that you're moving for the right reasons onto something else.
You will know to apply for a role that you like the look of if it has at least 2 out of 3 of the key components that you're looking for within a role. Not every job or every business is going to have everything that you're looking for. So sometimes you need to bring the expectations in check with what's available on the market, because if you are really keen on a move, but what you're looking for or exactly what you're looking for isn't available on the market, sometimes you have to adjust. And I think if those objectives are there and they can be met through that role in that business, then you should definitely consider and apply for that role. And you never know until you've had that conversation post-application. You don't know what's going to happen.
You tend to find some people that have been in a job for a long time, their salary's been inflated as well, and it's letting them know what's out there in the market and if you can match what's out there. A company may offer you an extra £5,000 to stay, which sounds lovely, you get to stay in the same job, but what you can be doing is actually pricing yourself out of the market, and when it does come to move in, you haven't got the right skills to match the salary, which can be quite a difficult thing to do. So always make sure you get the right advice before you even kind of say to your employer that you're going to stay.
The thing is, when people are available for work, it's very easy to not be realistic because they want the quick win and they need a job. But you need to just sit back and actually ask yourself the questions that you would probably ask if your friend was going for an interview, or if you were advising, just to make sure that you've actually covered all the options basically and know exactly what you're letting yourself in for.
If you want to go down that avenue, then obviously we will do that search for you. But yeah, we try and make things as easy as possible.
It's just a much more comfortable, way of working. The candidate will know firsthand at every step of the way how the process, what it's going to look like, if there is any changes, when the interviews are going to be, so that they can manage their diaries as well. Obviously, candidates that are very senior also have a crazy diary themselves, usually if they are in a position. So it just helps us to help them to manage their own timelines, to get out for interviews, to make sure that they know how they can structure their working week with also finding another role.
Because not all clients can offer that, but that's for us to kind of find out and then interpret that to the candidate and then make the perfect match.
I do think sometimes there's skills that they are unaware of that they've done in the past that may be relevant for this job. So I think sometimes looking at a job description and thinking, have I done that, and if so, when, then definitely adding it to a CV, because sometimes candidates are unaware of a quality or a skill that they've done that is relevant to this position they're applying for.
And as long as the CV is well structured, well written, key achievements and responsibilities well stipulated, well spaced out, that's it.
I'd always advise checking your CV with somebody else, be it someone at home, be it someone at a former employer, but it's definitely worth checking and any advice, because something that you can't see, someone else might always see. And that's also a part of the job that we're here to do. Whether we're placing you or not, there's something we can always support with and assist with.